Also, I want to mention my score for the last one
We're
because
about
I
to go
slept through it. I know. I was just saying. I do want to jokingly bring up my absence because Lewis said you guys during the podcast were like, yeah, RJ was going to give this one a 10 out of 10 because London's burning.
We are live, so
All right.
Oh,
Hey, how's
awesome.
it going, everyone? Welcome to the November 2022 anime podcast for Outpost 1018. How's everyone doing tonight? I hope you guys had a happy Thanksgiving. I sure did. I had two Thanksgivings. Suck it. Anyway, for November, we watched Made in Abyss, a Thanksgiving-themed anime. No, I'm just kidding. So,
yes, with lots of birds eating, not bird eating, birds eating.
yeah. So, Made in Abyss is about a girl named Riko whose mother whose mother had gone into this this hole in the ground that you cannot walk up from, and the entire village that she lives in is surrounding that hole, whose and their economy is based on relics people pull out of that hole. If you try to ascend from that hole, you get a curse, and the farther you descend, the worse the curse gets when you ascend. But anyway, she decides to sneak off and go find her mother in the bottom of this hole, and that's what creates the adventure here. But anyway, let's just get right into it. Let's start with the animation. I believe there's quite a bit of Ghibli influence in the especially the background art. It made me think a lot about Laputa Castle in the Sky.
yeah, like the art in this is just gorgeous in so many scenes. Like
Yep.
it's just like throughout the entire show, it's like we'll get this out of the way. It's supposed to be a lot of body horror. It's supposed to be like really fucked up, but like all the scenes are so well like done. Like the detail of everything behind it. I think that kind of helps because like with the characters being very chibi-esque, um, they stand out more, and it just like it feels better. It's a really weird contrast, but I love how like the character design clashes with the background, yet it still works.
Yeah. Yeah, like it really feels like the abyss itself, which we'll get into. The abyss itself would be like this wondrous paradise, if it wasn't for the curse. And
Yep.
there's a lot
Monsters.
of and the monsters. There's definitely a lot of imagination put into the environments.
On a detailed level at that.
Oh yeah. Um, they definitely really like you can tell the artists really thought out how these sort of like wondrous places would like really look, and it feels like there was a lot of work put into the world of the abyss itself.
Man, not just Ghibli, but there's also certain JRPGs, and that actually remind the artwork and level place design actually reminded me of one of them being Final Fantasy, the other one being Dragon Quest. You got some how should I say this? Zelda, not so much, but Dragon Quest, Final Fantasy, Tales of series, and for good measure, uh, the difficulty, monsters wise, some Bloodborne. Yes, I did mention Bloodborne.
I,
So
Yeah.
I was gonna
There's a
say like just like yeah, there's a lot that we could go off of. There's been not many animes recently where I could say if you're just getting like the B-roll kind of stuff of like all the scenery and like the backgrounds and stuff like that, where the anime is so good you could actually just use it as like a screensaver or like a background or like something. Like it so
Yep,
much of this
definitely.
is so
Especially
well done.
the lighting and the fauna are just hands down. I know. I know Will brought up Lapida. Could have sworn there was an anime I can think of. It's more recent than Lapida that it reminds me of, and I can't put my finger on it. But it was either Tower of Druaga, which is the reverse of the Abyss. It's going up a Lovecraftian construct, so going down. But a little bit of that, but I forget what other anime it was. But yeah, the scenery is really good, and I like how detailed the wildlife is, which tells me the person who wrote this, also whatever team that was with them, they paid a lot of attention to it. And I was waiting for you guys to get done, but I was going to quickly say, I uh, I think like in a sense, the abyss is like the bait that an angler fish uses. Because I was watching a video on how I'll keep it at just in a few sentences. There's a theory going that the abyss itself is a eldritch beast, like because the shape and form is like a digestive system. So further you go down, there are things keeping you from leaving, but the further you go down, it's like you're going where it intends you to go. And if the abyss itself is alive, then yeah, by all means, if it wasn't a dangerous place, it'd be a paradise, and I guess that's the allure.
that's pretty interesting. Because in season 2, if something happens that kind of supports it, they like break some rock open uh they notice that it doesn't really look like a normal rock, and that's all I'll say about that.
Oh, okay, yeah. I didn't know we're supposed to watch. Oh,
No,
we're not supposed to
we're
watch
not
season two.
supposed to
Okay,
watch
okay, good,
season
good,
two.
good.
We're not gonna spoil
Yeah,
any
Only
of
season
that.
one.
Yeah, I couldn't.
Good, good.
I couldn't help myself.
I'm like
I
4
couldn't watch the
episodes
movie
in,
either,
but yeah,
but
I
you
know a
know,
little bit. I was looking up some stuff that happened in season 2 just because I was curious. But
But yeah,
it's
that's
crazy.
rather astute. That didn't even cross my mind. Um. But anyway, with in stark contrast to the beautiful environment, there is a lot of gore and body horror in this.
I really hate that porcupine. That porcupine is friggin' evil. Like it didn't need to do what it did to them, but it did because it's a
It's an
porcupine
animal.
that's evil.
That
Yeah. Oh,
this
agreed.
you'll see things like intestines covering the ground. You'll see people being transformed into just hideous monsters before your very eyes in
parasitic,
excruciatingly gruesome detail. You'll see there's plenty of blood. There's tons of blood. And you'll see both people and creatures just being absolutely eviscerated.
oh, it gets even worse in the
It has
movie.
it has an ecosystem for you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it gets each level it gets even more fucked up. It's like I think that's one of the really nice things, and like we'll touch more on this in like plot, is like it starts off and it's still fucked up at the top. Like it's so beautiful, but it's fucked up. but then as they're going down, like you see it getting worse and worse and worse. I think that that's one of the really cool things about this, is like seeing that it's like slowly getting like to like this really fucked up place, and yet you're still going down. Like I think that that's one of the cooler things about the show, and how they still establish all the levels are
Yeah.
like terrible.
Look, I'm going to meme road, but let me tell you something. If Australia, Ohio, Florida, and whatever the hell,
The
HP
Amazon forest. Do not forget the Amazon forest. The one of the most, if nature had a morality system, the Amazon does not give any fracks, because you go down there, an insect bites you, even if you don't die immediately, you go home, and then all of a sudden, like a certain scene, your arm starts swelling up. The doctor doesn't know how to cure it. That actually happened to a group of people that went to the Amazon and ignored the locals' warnings, saying that place is cursed, dude. Like, it doesn't matter if it's a superstition or not. That place is cursed. We've heard of bad things happening to people, and they ignored it. Went there, got bitten, and then when they came back, I think one or two of them died because the doctors were like, we don't even know what this is. Like, a bug had bitten them, and this poison was forming in their body. It was just like, what?
Yeah,
And that's 100% real.
there's a definite sense of danger at all times. Like the world is like the abyss is beautiful, but like every aspect of it is just insidiously hostile. There's all sorts of just like creatures that are just mind-bogglingly dangerous. There's plenty of places for you to just fall and die. There's no shortage of that. If you ascend, it might kill you. And just walking up a hill might kill you.
Just looking at a flower, and that's what said flower is a goddamn parasitic insect that eats your insides.
Oh yeah.
You're fucked. Basically, like I was saying before, RJ had his piece. Basically, all of these places, and a little bit of HP Lovecraft for good reason, for good measure, augmented by 10,000. All of these places, Australia, Ohio,
Yeah.
Florida, Amazon, how should I say this? All of these places are meant
Why
by
Ohio?
Yeah, I was like, I
The
live
meme-
right next to
So I think
that.
it's Tornado Alley or something.
No.
No,
Ohio's
that's
just
like
boring.
Nebraska.
Yeah.
No, Ohio, because there's a lot of memes going around that all the weird shit happens in Ohio, like all the weird Lovecraftian shit happens.
No,
Like
no,
for-
it's just boring.
No, that
It's drugs.
that happens in like every forest in America.
I was gonna say that's more of a Pennsylvania thing. With the Appalachians.
It's an East Coast forest thing for horrible eldritch horrors to manifest and make people disappear. But anyway,
Yeah, I was gonna quickly say, if we're talking cryptids here, I can see why he's making that comparison. But cryptids tend to appear where people can't explain something, or they're on a shitload of drugs and they have not a shared hallucination. One of them describes hallucination to another one, and then the other one experiences it because it's in his head.
So what you're saying is everyone from Ohio smokes meth.
Yes.
I know friends in Ohio, and they confirmed it is the second methanol state.
Were they on meth when they told you that?
No, I was the one who assumed it. They confirmed
but anyway.
Yeah, back to the anime.
Yeah. So besides the beautiful landscapes and vistas and the body horror, and like the very almost kind of cutesy art style, there's also there's also something weird that the animation does, especially early on in the show's runtime, and that is you'll see a lot of the monsters or a lot of the creatures of the abyss in like this really weird low frame rate, and with like these with like some really like distorted silhouette. It's kind of hard to describe. I don't know what to make of it, but it certainly stands out.
It's probably their combination of trying to hide the CGI. It's not always going to come out perfect.
Yep. I was going to quickly say, I know that the writer of another series, Hunter x Hunter, really likes to. I'm not complaining because it's a guilty pleasure. I like it. He really likes to borrow things from other shows, and when he, admittedly, he was about to finish Hunter x Hunter at a certain scene involving a tree. He decided to keep going on because one, money, two, fans demanding it. And he decided to make a whole ecosystem, and like he explained how their continent isn't really a continent; it's like an island in the middle of a giant ocean with a bigger continent around it. Anywho, he started making similar environments for that, and that one has yet to be shown. Like there's like bits and pieces, but I couldn't help but think of that. Except the difference is this is original. That one is borrowing from something like this, I guess. It's a polite way of saying, not knocking off. But I really appreciated the level of detail in Made in Abyss's wildlife because I've to some extent I've studied a little bit on biology, biospheres, etc. But my point being, the author knew what the heck they're talking about. It's kind of like how the writer of Full Metal Alchemist similarly like knew what she was writing because there's a lot of actual historical European alchemic stuff referenced in her work. But my main take is, stuff doesn't just happen for the sake of happening. Like Blue Gender. It's another series. Blue Gender, the movie, because it had crammed down a series into a film, has stuff happening just because it has to happen. But this doesn't have that. It's horror. It's got a little bit of fantasy biology and speculative biology, and when stuff happens, it makes sense. It's not just like, and then suddenly a giant snake showed up and attempted to swallow them, but then was eaten by a Tyrannosaurus Rex. It doesn't do that. They're walking, and as Lewis pointed out, they're looking, look at this pretty flower, and then the flower is actually bait for a parasite. I love that.
Or they stumble into an area, and it turns out to be the lair of a horrible predator. It really feels like the world is truly alive, like it's a real living and breathing ecosystem.
If I may interject for a second, though. One of the interviews the creator brought up is like he was inspired by Xenoblade Chronicles to designing the Abyss.
Wow.
Probably because of the
cool.
idea too dead, like the idea that the ecosystem itself is actually living and not completely dead or just.
Oh, hey,
hurt.
how's it going, Neko?
Tonight, but it looks a bit. Akita Tsukushi.
Is Neko talking? Because I can't hear him.
He's not.
I can't hear him either. I think he's fixing his mic. But yeah, let's I think we've talked long, and we haven't really been talking about the animation. I think we've been absorbed into the world building.
Yeah.
Which actually is fine. I think that's I've quite liked this section. Let's move on to
really quick. I just want to. Something came to mind. And I kept forgetting to mention it. I don't know if you guys know Orson Scott Card. The only thing I've seen in the West that's similar and fantastical, because there is speculative biology fiction that's Western. But the one thing that it reminded me of, was the sequel to Ender's Game has a similarly horrifying but also fascinating ecosystem where beings mutate when they die and they become other forms of life. Like, I recommend checking out Ender's Game and the sequel's Speaker for the Dead. But this kind of reminded me of that too, because in that one, when mammals die, they become plants, and then the spores of the plants fertilize mammals. Basically they're it's like a cycle. And the sentient life becomes confused when the humans don't turn into plants. They're like, "Why'd you kill these people? We were just trying to turn them into trees." Like, because to them that's immortality. Like, we care about these people, we want them to be immortal. But yeah, no. What I'm just getting at is like similar level of fascination, like the cool shit.
Yeah.
And if only that would be attached to a better book, I'll agree with that.
Let's move on to the music and sound design. I like the I actually like the opening theme to the first season quite a bit. It starts out kind of sounding like a Toho song, but it sort of evolves into a somewhat more standard opening, but I quite like the sort of piano riff that it has. It got me to actually watch the opening theme more times than usual. I quite liked it.
I mostly skipped the ending theme because it wasn't really sun. It's not that I didn't like it; it just wasn't my thing.
So
But fun fact: the soundtrack itself was made in Vienna, Austria, by what's the name of that Vienna orchestra? Keep going.
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna,
look
I'm
it
gonna
up.
take a look.
yeah. So what I wanted to say about it was like I went back and I listened to both just before. Like, I finished the anime and then I was like, let me just remember the theme songs before we start. So I listened to them both again. Um, no fault to them. The anime was too interesting to the point where I was just like, I just want to get to the action. I want to know what's going on more than I wanted to listen to the opening. The opening
Really?
is very, very standard.
Yeah.
Where it's
I can't disagree with Josh. It's good for what it is. It's good, but yeah.
if I
Yeah.
heard it, I know where it's from, but it's not something that I'm going to remember in a few weeks.
That's fine.
Like, so it's fine. Like
Yeah.
that's exactly where I would put it. What I did do though, while I was in my car, was I was listening to like just some of the songs and like just the normal soundtrack of everything. And this won't spoil anything. The first season was good. I ended up like listening to part of the second season. The second season gets way better, like soundtrack wise.
Oh yeah.
I was immediately like struck with the soundtrack in the first episode. When they were attacked by that flying monster, whatever it was called in the first episode. There was a sort of a
It's in
fast
Sweatshop.
there was sort of a fast rising piano riff, and I realized that the music was not going to have this issue where it kind of just sort of exists. And it was actually going to be really good.
Yeah.
And I throughout the soundtrack, throughout the show, the music really stuck with me. Especially there's this one theme where the opening piano riff, it sounds a lot like Guts' theme from Berserk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Now, first of all, it made me think that wailing voice was going to come up, and I can actually hear it in my head right now.
Please don't.
I realized I heard it somewhere else before, and that's because a certain web series called Koichi Komoji's Heart-Throbbing Adventure had used it in one of their scenes.
It does.
And what'd you say?
Koichi.
Why would you have to remind me of this? Stop. Oh no.
Uh,
Yes, we're all degenerates here. You're welcome.
I don't know what that one is. But I did find,
maybe I'll make you watch it for an April Fool's prank.
Oh god. Yeah, it's
but-
not a no Boku no Pico or Pico no Boku. Anyways.
Ain't bringing
but
it up, it's boring.
anyway,
excuse me, Will, but I found
Excuse me while I'll blow my brains out, right?
okay, the soundtrack itself, it was recorded at Synchron Stage Vienna by the Synchron Stage Orchestra. The conductor was Kevin Penkin, who, well, he's actually quite famous for doing a lot of scores for several animes out here. I mean, the guy's Australian though.
yeah, that sounded like a European name.
Yeah, it's actually it was a British guy, but he was born British, but he's in Australia. He was also
He's Australian.
Yeah, he was also working on the theme for the adaptations of Rise of the Shield Hero and the Underdog, which is let's see what else. Fun fact: the score actually won best score in 20. It was 2012 at the Crunchyroll Awards. It won best score. That's how good it was.
Crunchyroll Awards. That's a thing.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
they're terrible.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
yeah.
2017 second Crunchyroll Anime Awards.
Yeah.
It won best score.
But
all right.
It didn't come out in 2017.
No, it came out in 2011, 2011 actually.
That's like if the Oscars came out and then they were just like, all right, we're going to give an award to a film from 1899.
Yeah, no.
Oh, sorry.
It's I do not trust the Crunchyroll. It's such a fan base thing, and it's only the people on Crunchyroll, and like it. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Guys,
it's not a
excuse
good
me.
reward.
Excuse me, guys, but I have to correct
Who
myself.
cares?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but who cares? It's
the
Crunchyroll.
The
It's
manga,
shit.
dude. The manga came out in 2012. The anime series came out in 2017.
Yeah.
July the 7th.
Oh, it did.
Yeah.
He is right.
My bad on that one. The thing is, I was confused with the manga, which came out in 2012. So basically, the novel, the manga itself turns.
Oh, it's actually very easy to accidentally click on the manga page on Mal.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't use Mal.
All right,
Wow.
guys. Since we're on the subject of sound, voice acting.
It's serviceable. There's not many actors I can really recall. They served their role good enough, and I watched the Japanese dub.
I thought Nanachi's voice acting was pretty good. She had like a real like interesting timbre to her voice. There was the first White Whistle they met. She sounded like Ozen. She sounded like a lot of other anime characters I've heard. Same with Bone Druid.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure that.
I mean,
God damn.
Sorry, I gotta ask. Did you guys watch the Japanese dub or did you use the English dub?
I
watched
watched the
Japanese.
Japanese. Yeah.
I watched dubbed, but I went back and rewatched the last 2 episodes with a Japanese dub. It's the same thing to me. I don't see that much of a difference, I'll be honest.
I see a big difference in. I suck at character names. The lead girl.
Rico.
Yeah,
Rico.
Rico. Like her voice is terrible in English, but the rest of it's fine.
Yeah, well,
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
Ooh.
In the case of Rico's voice actress, that would be
Lauda Brittany or Brittany.
Brittany Lauda, and Miyu
okay.
Tomita in the Japanese version. She in the case of Miyu Tomita, she played Gabriel from Gabriel Dropout. Besides, what else? What was her name from Kaguya-san? It's what Miko, yeah.
Miko, yeah. What else she played? She played the Crymel from the Isuzaki Reviewers, and she also played.
Are you talking about the Japanese VA or
Ebisu from the Dorohedoro? So she's not a bad actress. I mean, probably so, but it's like again, it's the same thing with Western dub. I didn't notice that much of a difference.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Interestingly, the
Western dub with Brittany, like she just goes a little bit too overboard, so it's like grating. It's like a grating 12-year-old in your ear the entire time.
Well,
probably like that. Yeah.
Well, Rico is a child.
Yeah,
it's okay. She has pink hair. It's okay.
And Reg is fine. Like everyone else is fine. It's just hers is just a little like she went a little too over the top with the voice, and it's like.
Yeah, the kid is supposed to be adorable, not grating.
Oh yeah, it's actually grating. It hurts.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait,
there's such a thing as overacting.
Yeah, it was.
Speaking of, I learned that Reg's voice actress was Lucy Christian, who. I'll be honest here. It's not the first time I heard her play a male child character, especially in certain other Funimation series. Since a lot of the actors in this series are from, Funimation, really.
Well, in original, she played by Mario Ice or Issei.
Maria Issei.
Yeah, Issei. I mean, that's whatever. I didn't notice that much difference, so. I think it's serviceable enough for me to watch it, so I didn't immediately vomit out. So, that's a plus for whoever made the dub. So,
yeah, in the case of Maria Issa, she's pretty legit.
Yep.
She is good, but this is
not
in this role. So.
She plays. Well, this is the same chick who played Rei in Promised Neverland and Killua in Hunter x Hunter. So
yeah,
Killua.
She plays the Hyakuna in Cabaneri, Iron Fortress, so it's the mascot.
We gotta watch that sometime. I like Iron Fortress.
At some point, yes. I have to satisfy my fetishes. I'm sorry.
I mean, if you guys are going to cover one day, I guess I'll suffer through it again.
Okay, Rick.
Hey.
Was Cabanera bad? Is it? You guys consider it bad? I thought it was fun.
We'll talk about that later.
Okay. But
she also played Ringo in Air Gear. I just realized. I just learned that right now. Fucking hell.
Yeah. She's been around for a long time, so it's fine.
So I'd say like just voice acting overall from both is just like both are decent. I have a couple issues with the English. Japanese a little bit less. There was a couple characters I didn't really like, but.
In the case of
was good.
Yeah, I found.
You guys want to guess who my favorite character is?
Okay.
I'll give you a hint. What was the last anime we watched? I mean, well, I slept through. Sorry.
Oh God.
I think I know who your favorite character is.
Go ahead.
Maruk.
Oh God.
Maruk the Trap.
No.
Wait, is he a trap?
Yes.
Yeah.
Really?
Right.
And without spoiling anything, Mr. Questionable Scientific Morals, in finding the gene to stop the effects of the
The sixth
Oh,
layer.
yeah.
Yeah.
The
He's basically
Bondry-
Victor from League of Legends. He's literally
Oh.
just Victor from League of Legends.
Yeah, he really is.
It,
Are we
I'll be
talking about the plot now?
Bond.
Of course, it's like of course. You know, the one character I like is the mad scientist eugenicist.
Oh, fucking course. Why am I not surprised? That dude is the biggest motherfucker in the series. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
That's
Time to murder.
I was
the only
watching
criticism. Go
I
ahead.
and I felt what looked I felt like bloodlust. Like I wanted to kill this dude after what he
Oh,
did
yeah.
to his daughter.
Yeah.
Without spoiling anything, it was like
No.
the whole thing involves into the third film, so it's like
Reminder, we're only talking about season 1.
yeah, but film
I-
3 is like the
I
continuation of
think,
season 1.
Yeah.
You know what?
Like a straight-
Let's just decide we're talking about characters now.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
I think I think he is Bone Road. I think he is the ultimate, the personification of the Sigma male grind set.
Oh.
I see that. It's there now. The guy who's voice actor, that'll be
Bondrude? Is that how you pronounce his name?
Bondrude, yes.
Bondrude.
Yeah, I was gonna say like we'll get into that a little bit later with like the plot, but like he's living on level 5.
Yeah.
Like that's fucking insane that he's just living down there.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's a reason
I
for
mean,
that, but
you-
it's not in the season in this one.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like
Yeah,
unfathomable. You'd have to make your house very long and flat, so
Yeah.
that you don't have to walk upstairs. But
Should I
Yeah.
mention the name of the layers, or should I wait until
Oh.
story section?
We can talk about the
Yeah.
mention of the layers. Layer 5 is the Sea of Corpses.
hmm
Like
Strains of ascent, complete sensory deprivation, confusion, and self-harming behavior.
Checks out.
We're apparently watching. We're apparently talking about the movie now.
no, that
Not really. It's still they didn't mention that thing in
We
the
see the effects of the fifth
Oh, yeah.
layer.
yeah.
in
I
season
mean,
We're
one.
gonna see the
the movie
corpses,
is-
right? The Sea of Corpses of film.
the
Right?
movie is
So-
kind of just like the last episode of season 1.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, what I
oh.
was gonna say was like he's doing experiments. We won't get into like the full thing, but he's doing experiments.
That's not
into
just
the
spoilers,
sixth-
yeah.
Yeah, into the 6th layer, which is
Yeah.
that's what the craziest part is.
Can I talk, can we talk about that? Since we were talking about Nanachi earlier on, can we talk about how she is unironically one of the best characters in that series?
Yeah, I really liked Nanachi.
She's like a through line. I
Yeah,
believe,
she's
for-
like,
She or is it?
I read the character synopsis. Apparently, it's never stated.
if you want to be
Yeah,
technical, it's kind of like Hanji from Attack on Titan, where it's unknown for now. The gender's never
Apparently,
known.
Okay.
but anyway, I'm just gonna call her she for now.
Sure.
For the hell of it. She kind of at first shows up as almost like this mysterious sage of the abyss that knows like all these sorts of things, like has a deep understanding of the wildlife, knows how the curse actually functions, and
She lived it.
yeah, and she like lives in this really special location where she's chosen to build her house, and but like as the audience and the characters spend time with her, uh, she's revealed as being much less knowledgeable and a lot more fragile than what she first seems.
Yeah.
I mean, she's also seen other Delvers come and go, and because of her status as a hollow, she's very untrustworthy because, again, they've kind of been known to kidnap people like her from the Abyss to study them.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, well, since you were watching the Japanese dub, you know why she has that kind of voice? Her voice actress Shiori Isawa is known for playing. How should I say this? In a sense, two of her most famous roles are actually animal hybrids. For example, she was the voice of Chocola in Nekopara, and she was also the voice of Diona in a Japanese version of Genshin. So basically, she played a
Yeah.
cat girl, and she played two cat girls besides a rabbit hybrid.
Oh,
So
that doesn't really mean much to me because I
I
haven't
know
consumed either of those things.
I know I'm just saying for whoever's watching this.
I mean, her biggest success probably Hey Bot, which is the TV show for kids, and she plays, the main character there, Hey Bot. So it's like,
Yeah.
for whoever's oh wait, she played Asuki. That was her name. There we go, Asuki. That's
she also played Tampopo from the Witchcraft Works. So that's a good role.
yeah,
Which is
actress is
Cat
really
Girl.
Well, I mean, what do you think of the character though? That's
Oh,
what we're talking
she's
about.
amazing.
Yeah, we're in the characters section.
So good. Like the way that she's written, I'm not going to spoil anything, so it's one of those shows, but it's so good. The way that the way they put out the story in the bits, not like, bland, but in like very specific tone for every single bit in the story that makes you like, oh shit, at the end. And it's like, I mean, you're not going to cry over that thing, but you might have a moment, shall we say.
Yeah, it's a feel moment, especially what happens to Miri
Yeah.
in episode 13. And it's fucking. Here's the thing: I will never unhear the fact that Eri Kitamura did all of the grunts regarding Miri and all the other all the other characters like her in the series.
Let's
Sure.
let's talk about Rico because she's really the main character.
Oh, before that,
What?
oh, we just found something. We just got struck
What?
by something. Check the
What?
chat. We got a porn bot.
Oh God.
Oh,
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
Can-
let's see
Uh-oh.
what we need.
Who even has a wrench in our in this channel?
I
you mean mod status?
I was
What?
I thought you said literal wrench because I have one in my hand right now.
Let's see.
Well, no, the wrench is basically a chat moderator.
I got it.
They're called wrenches on YouTube.
I got it.
Lame ass name, but okay.
What up? Never
Uh-oh.
done it today.
Add this user on channel. Delete.
That
Remove. I
might be a
got it.
problem.
It's gone.
What channel was this?
On ours, there was a
Uh-oh.
bot. Big
Uh-oh.
advertising.
Uh-oh.
No, which channel was it?
Outpost.
Outpost. Yeah, we're streaming.
No, which
Uh-oh.
channel? In
Literally the thing they're
Which-
streaming on.
Uh-oh.
no, we're streaming in a private call.
No,
That's what I'm
yeah,
speaking about.
on YouTube.
No, it was on the YouTube stream. It was on the chat for the YouTube
Yeah.
stream.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, we're fine. I
wanna-
got rid of it. It's fine. It's gone.
All right, but
Wow.
can we delete its comments?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right,
Well, anyways,
anyway,
Rico.
Rico,
What?
yes.
I love I personally love the fact that Rico is inherited her mother's sense of curiosity. In the case in the case of Liza, who is basically an absolute legend in Ort, which is her hometown. Rico wants to find her, and then she reads all about the abyss and then some, and then that's the catalyst that triggers everything. She wants to find her mother, and
Brilliant.
be like, and
Rico strikes me as very knowledgeable and very driven, but
She lacks the physical capabilities.
well, not just physical capabilities, but she's also like very lacking in wisdom and very naive.
not just that, she's also emotionally, let's be honest
Damaged.
here. Yeah,
Emotionally immature like a child. Yeah.
I mean, I'll be. I mean, it's gonna do it to you because you're gonna be crying a lot in the series. You know, I mean, if it's fear, it's the uncertainty that you're gonna fucking die at any second.
Wouldn't be surprised a lot of people would have imprinted on her as like a sibling or a child.
Yeah. She
What happens if someone you love were to end up in this situation? You couldn't stop them from leaving. They go in this
Mhm.
clearly dangerous place.
like,
It gets worse.
and they know all the rumors. Like we can be. It's said in the first 3 episodes. I think we can go there. They know once you get past a certain level, there is no returning. And as you're going down through the levels, like level 1, you just get like dizzy and like nauseated. Level 2 is like numbness of your limbs, and it's
Keep in mind
headache.
these things happen when you
You go
climb
back up.
upwards.
Yeah, so like it's as you go down.
It's random, right?
harder
It's
to walk
random,
up.
but like milder.
No, it's not random. Each level is a different.
It's not random.
Yeah. So like level 1, you just get some nausea and some dizziness.
Mm.
Level 2, you get like headaches, heavy nausea, numbness of your limbs, like it's harder to move. Level 3, you're going to get vertigo. You're gonna have hallucinations. Level 4, you're
Before
going to
you
have,
bleed.
yeah, that internal bleeding, full pain, body pain. Level 5 is the self harm, and then level 6, and they're trying to figure this one out, is how to climb back out of it without losing your humanity.
If I can mind bringing up this strain of it, loss of humanity or death or under specific conditions, the blessing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're trying to figure out how
Whatever
to get
the
out
blessing
of level
is.
6. So once you get to that level, they don't know how to get back up. And you also have to imagine that anyone, like the white whistles and the black whistles are constantly going down to level 4 and level 5. So they've experienced internal bleeding over and over and over again. So
I was going to mention Elzen because it seems, considering how her body's been modified through her own hands, she seems at least immune to the more weaker curses. But she's at least smart enough not to test her luck when it comes to the deeper layers.
yeah, there's a thing where like they also say that you can slowly build up an immunity. So I'm sure that like whenever she walks up from like level 1,
Up
like
a steep incline.
yeah,
She
I was
won't
gonna
feel
say-
it anymore.
Yeah, I was gonna say like level 1 and 2, like most black whistles, that's probably how they get it. Is like they just become immune to like part of the curse.
Olsen has this unique voice, in the way she speaks. Like
If she's cold.
yeah, not only she's cold, like she really doesn't give a fucking shit. Especially,
Well, I mean,
No, I
Like
think
half
she
of the
does
body is
give a shit.
basically like cyborg almost or something
No,
like that.
I think Ozen definitely does give a shit, and a lot of a shit. She just has really funny ways of showing it.
Like
yeah,
she's a legend among her community. She's probably seen a lot of people die.
and I'll be honest with you, Sayako Hara kind of sounds like the Japanese voice actress for Shin-chan in that role. I'm like, damn. I wasn't the only one who was noticing that, but in Ozen, well, being that she was Liza's teacher in this regarding and well, she earned a lot of respect from me because her facial reactions were wild as hell, especially the one where she like peers out of a sun like a jump scare.
We gotta talk about Reg.
Oh yeah, we
I can-
forgot about Reg. We got distracted by all these
I
actors.
didn't.
Yeah, like
I'll wait for
mean-
you guys.
But yeah, let's focus on. As a matter of fact, let's go with the incinerator himself, the stretchy robot, Reg.
He's also called the Treasure of the Deep.
Yeah.
Interesting.
it's interesting because like he's coming out of the deep, and obviously,
He's a mutant.
there's hints that like he's really important and he's already known, which is interesting.
Because Rico's mom made a drawing of something similar, of someone or some being similar to, I guess, whatever species he is.
Yeah, I was gonna say like it's not just like there was like that. Someone was mentioned that they've seen him before. I can't remember which character within that scene, but like there's certain like hints that like it's like you're from here, and you're from here pretty fucking far down. And the fact
I
that
can't
he
be
can
the
just
other one.
move up and down through the entire system is like such a useful thing. Like the abyss curse not affecting him is so useful.
I can't be the
He's
other
a
one who thinks
robot,
that
technically so.
he legit looks. I can't be the only one who thinks that the guy was inspired by Mega Man. Yeah,
Maybe.
Yeah.
Or
Was
don't
it
forget,
the
don't
fucking
forget.
arm cannon?
Yeah.
yeah.
Hold up. Adam Boy, I think, right?
Oh. Alright.
The original.
Yeah.
Mighty
Oh, you mean
Astro
you-
Boy.
Astro Boy?
Astro Boy,
Yeah.
yeah.
Astro Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
I mean-
he is kind of inspired by Astro Boy. Besides Mega Man, yes,
But
he.
just without a nose.
He just doesn't have those butt machine guns.
And the fact that his two arms it can stretch like that, it also reminds me a bit of a Spectre gadget, but maybe it's more. But that's a little too. Okay. Anyways,
Go gadget child abuse.
go a bit. Go Abyss Spelunkin. Oh fuck.
Oh
But
no.
anyway,
Yeah,
the Reg strikes me as sort of like very empathetic. He really wants to help others, but he doesn't really have a strong sense of self.
As amnesia.
Well, to be honest with you, he did lose his memory. You know.
Well, there's he starts gaining his memory back in the second season.
But he can't put
and-
it together.
Well, yeah, but like even then it doesn't like really change his personality much. He like even in flashbacks he doesn't seem to have a strong sense of self. He seems to be compelled to help whoever he comes across. No matter who it is, really.
Yeah, and no moment is that evident than the saga with Nanachi.
Yeah.
Like helping
Well,
a confused
that's-
stranger, but honestly, that was more out of a obligation, a favor, as she helped Rico.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I think he would have done it anyway.
I agree.
Yeah.
He would have.
Well,
He would have.
yeah, but it would be like destroying the emotional connection and bond what they have. So it's just like, because she would have to ask him anyway. Otherwise, it would.
She only
would not
asked
work.
because she saw him use his weapon to scare away the creature we mentioned, called the Orb Piercer, by the way. But we'll get to
yeah,
that.
but I mean, still, like, if he would have just done that, just by itself, I guess, that would not be as much emotional stake as how they did it in the first place.
Yeah.
So, anyway, off tangent.
Well, there's also, but it's not. It's not like like he's so fucking annoying sometimes, especially when he's crying constantly. Come on, man.
I mean, he's a little boy technically. He has a child. He is a child. Like that's the thing. So what do you expect him to do?
Yeah, yeah, I
Because like,
guess.
especially when I'm not gonna spoil, but when the thing happened in last what is it,
He-
episode
It's the only
10,
time he
9?
cried.
Yeah, it's like
Well,
you know
he
that person for
definitely
that long, and you just you bonded and stuff because you're going through that much, and you see that person being in that condition. You're like, I mean, yeah, like it's understandable. So it's
yeah
like
he definitely does that less uh as his character development develops. I'd say
Mm-hmm.
because the show the first season kind of ends in this very traumatic arc to him for him.
Mhm.
So that's why he's sort of really freaking out and crying a lot at the
At the side
end of
of
the first
losing
season.
a new friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's also like as the layers go down, like you're supposed to be like getting harder and hard. Like you're supposed to be hardening who you are as a person as you go down. And I think one of the things is like they shoot through those levels like really quick. Um, as they
Well, if you
drop
don't
down.
mind for a second, I wanted to bring this up. I didn't know when.
Go ahead.
So, in the first layer, you remember that the youngest kids, like from the orphanage Rico comes into, is
Mm-hmm.
from, they explore like the edge of it, the first layer.
Shiggy,
Yeah.
or is Shiggy or the what's the name of that other kid? Um, go ahead,
All
I'll
of them.
start later.
I know you're talking about those, all of them. The point being is like they should have already like known that there's a lot of like distressing shit and of course death. As we remember in episode 1, the praying skeletons.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Nat. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's just move on to the story.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
if we got enough with the characters for
Yeah,
one
and
that it was insane, and
we're beating around a lot of bushes at this point, like trying to describe some things. So,
you haven't watched this, and watch it, because we're jumping into spoilers.
yeah. So plot wise, like just as vague as possible. I love this plot. Like the the world itself is kind of like unoriginal for like the idea. It's like, oh, there's a giant hole, and the deeper you go, like basically, it's like you have to level up as a person, and just it gets harder and harder the deeper you go.
One more thing I wanted to bring up was like the artifacts that they find throughout the abyss.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah. But
I
like,
mean, I don't explore them though. It's a piece of junk. That's that's what it really is.
yeah.
oh,
One of them is an umbrella.
fuck.
Well,
But
yeah, but
yeah.
like they don't show you what others do because they found pretty like 15 or 20 of these.
They're thousands of years old, dude. Of course, they're not
Well,
going
yeah,
to
yeah.
really function.
So, but what I was gonna say is like it's kind of like a boring like world, in like that sense where it's just kind of generic. But like how well constructed this is, in like how like deep it goes with like a lot of the psychological things that are going on. Like just the plot in general is so good. Like the world they built, even though it's like kind of like tropey at first, is just it, everything that is written outside of the like initial
I
tropes
I think
is just really well done.
I think it's a real testament to how much some really hard work can be can really make something really stand out. Because while giant hole in the ground isn't really all that interesting, like how well, like how imaginative they were with the things that could be down there, and how much thought and consistency that they put into like the rules of the world and the ecosystem and the different biomes really sells this world to the audience in a way that it wouldn't otherwise unless without this level of effort.
So like I don't have an issue like spoiling like a very early creature. It, the Corpse Weaver is such like a good starting point of like telling you how fucked up this world is gonna be. It's a beautiful bird. That
But you can also train.
yeah, it's on the second level. It's a beautiful bird. You can train it, but it's eating its victim, but it's using its victim's like vocal cords as it eats it to like mimic its cry for help.
Yep.
So that
Yep.
Which I guess
yeah, so it's bringing in like this like oh shit I have to rush to it, and like it's like that's on the second level. That's like a very basic starting point. But
coincidentally
like,
the
Yeah,
forest
those,
of
those,
temptation.
those monsters were the ones that stuck to me the most. Those
You're-
guys were
you're,
the ones that stuck to me the most. They're eerie as hell.
yeah.
Your starting point for fucked up monsters is flying skinwalker.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Not the,
So
not the giant fucking whale creature we saw at the split jaw,
yeah, there was that.
which was migrating. It's not even from the.
Yeah,
the other.
that was the thing. Like that was like a migrating thing that was like hunting above it. But like that was it's like oh shit, like that thing is fucked up. But like then you get down and you're like oh this is real. Like these things are just gonna fuck your day up. And like they hunt in packs. They or like groups. Like it's just so like crazy how just like the first couple layers are like that deadly and you're like, okay, well, I've got 4 more to go through, and I think that that just really was like a good highlight to like, okay, this show is gonna get really, really dark, really, really quick.
And it did. It does. And
Oh yeah.
oh, there's some moments that will make you shout,
Mhm.
"Holy fucking shit!" Or in the case of Spanish, "Puta madre con caca!" Like, in other words, fucking hell and shit. It's
Yeah.
it's some next level shit. I've seen some fucked up anime, but this is one of the
That's special.
tops. It's out there. It's out there. It's not like the old time, but it's you. You gotta give props to Akihito Tsukushi, the man responsible for the manga, for coming up with all this shit. Because Jesus Christ, there is some real shit in this series. Okay, so regarding the story, what really hooked me up was the fact that the Abyss premise. Well, that honestly caught my attention. Like I was mentally preparing myself to watch this, considering all the stuff I heard in the internet. This show was actually pretty infamous on the internet because of its
Well, because of that scene.
That's fan
So,
service.
I think
yeah.
I think the fact that you can't climb up the abyss like past a certain point
10 meters is whenever you start feeling it.
It's
Well,
pretty
yeah, but like
impossible without gear.
it eventually becomes impossible, and even before that, it becomes extremely dangerous. It almost feels kind of Faustian.
Yep.
Because it's kind of like that desire to explore infinity in and of itself without any without any regard for your own safety, just to like leave that the desire to look under every stone and to search the darkest depths of knowledge, just to just because the just because the fact that a light hasn't shined on it, the fact that it's unknown, uh just it just kills sort of kills you. It sort of it eats at the back of your head, and you just like even though even though you know it's like almost a death sentence to look, you have to. You're compelled to, because you just have to know. That's very very Faustian.
Well, just to kind of get on this a little bit, this this thing is deep as fuck. Just for mostly Americans would be watching us, if anything. So the sixth layer is 15,500 meters deep. That's like where it sits. That's 9 miles. If we're
Yep.
talking about Lovecraft, a lot of the inspiration that Lovecraft got was from the sea creatures, like in like the abyss of the sea. So whenever you're going that deep, like you're gonna get very similar vibes of like what a fish.
Yep. And if
is
you
going
try to
look like.
surface too fast, you end up getting a brain hemorrhage and possibly worse.
It's
Oh, yeah.
very very similar.
Oh
So-
yeah,
Oh, there's a map.
it's like the bends.
Yep.
Um.
You know when you have the ability to go deeper to the point where it doesn't matter what happens to you in the end. You just want to know
Oh, yeah.
how deep can I go? Because the difficulty itself just starts going higher and higher and higher every single time you descend down the abyss. You know damn well you're never gonna see the light of day ever again.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, I mean, wasn't Faust dragged to hell in
oh,
the end?
I haven't
Yep.
read the novel,
I'm not sure you guys are referring to.
Actually, while they're doing that, and like I'm gonna bring up this one thing, and then we'll kind of move to reviews, I think, because we're running to that point.
Yeah, we're kind of going about the same.
But yeah, go ahead, keep talking.
I was gonna ask, is there any negative aspects to this show? We already talked like a shit ton of positives. Like we
There's
dick.
there's a lot of scenes that are uncomfortable to my sensibilities. Not like the gory scenes, but like
Sexual.
scenes that
Yeah.
seem to put children in seemingly sexual situations.
Yeah, that's season 2.
That was
Yeah.
also season 1. I'll be honest.
Season
Well, there's a
2's
few of
worse.
them, but you know.
We're gonna select
But
Twitter.
other than that, I can't like think of any like overt like flaws in the writing or anything like that.
Cool. All right, so I brought it up.
I know we're gonna select Twitter, but
All right.
regarding, but there are some moments that are just like Bro, why'd you
There we go.
put this in?
All right, this is very high quality JPEG. So I'm gonna
Thank you.
so if you're looking at the stream right now, I have up the map. It's
I posted a map in chat.
okay, cool. Same one, yeah, cool. So
God,
what
damn.
I was saying is, it's like we know up to level, the sixth layer, which is right here. And they're estimating that it goes down like to 20,000 or below or
Mhm.
lower.
So
They
this
only
is a
have
direct-
mapped out 6
So-
layers.
So this is how far that they've mapped out your mom.
That's only how
Oh,
deep
God.
they've been able to go.
Wow.
Wow.
it,
Can I interject
well,
for a second? Like, this map was shown in the first episode, so
Yeah.
we already had a good idea of how deep it's
Yeah.
been explored.
Yeah.
this
So
show
this
is
doesn't show any, like this isn't like spoiling anything. This is just kind of like showing.
This
how,
was
yeah.
episode 1.
yeah, this is
this
like
show is
how
a
deep
direct
this goes and like how crazy it is.
Josh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it. This show is a direct reference of Jules Verne's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, in a sense, or at least it got inspired by it.
Yeah. All right.
I can
That
definitely
also
tell.
Probably.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Let's do our conclusions here.
Okay, I always start out. So I had a few issues with the show, which is it's weird because I want to say it's pacing. Okay, let me restart. Whenever I was thinking about how I wanted to like talk about the show, it's just nothing makes sense, even though everything fits together so well. So it's like if I wanted to talk about like the pacing of the show, like there's points where I think it's too slow, but then I try and think where I would cut fat, and then there's nothing that I would cut. So
Well, for one, it's not an action series,
yeah,
as you can clearly
so
test.
it's very important, like all the parts in it. So it's like well, should it be quicker or should it be slower? Are we missing something? Like maybe we wanted a little bit more adventure, but like anytime I was rethinking about every little part of the show, I can't see where to improve even if I had issues. And with how like the soundtrack was, how the like plot was, with how much like I just wanted to get to like the second season. Like I was excited to be like, okay, I'm going to continue watching the show, which hasn't happened in a while. Like very few shows have been like, oh man, I need the second season. Like really, what's happening? It it's just so well written and so well done that can't find I can't find like the actual flaws, even if I feel like there's some flaws, if that makes any sense. So I'm gonna give it a 9, knowing that like something still feels off to me, even though it's so well done.
Neko.
It reminded me of a few shows actually. Tower of God, but less shit. Now and then, here and there, but also less shit. Girls Last Tour, but less boring. From Another World, or from the Beyond the World, but actually coherent story. And something like Hikamori no Kichu, which, or Grimoire of Dawn, that's also one. But one thing that I tempted to just slap a 10 out of 10 on this show, but the only thing that I cannot do that for is because it's one season. And that's the major flaw, because what they should have done is expanded the whole thing and include the film, which they should have been in the first place, the way that they handle the fantasy world, the way that they handle the animation, the story, the sort of the culture that they show you in the way that they developed around that abyss thing, this giant hole in the thing, just goes all the way down to the whatever layer you have. Um, the way that they introduce the like a knowledge of from the which shows, by the way, the author, the what's his name? I forgot. Um, he knows medical, he knows like ecological terminology, all of that stuff. The way how to do cuts, the cooking, like he knows that stuff pretty well, it seems. Um, the soundtrack, which is sort of a Ghibli-like animation and all, it's almost perfect. The only problem is it's not freaking enough. So, uh, it's, I mean, it's 9.8, I guess, because it's so good. So,
Holy fuck.
All right, Striker.
Well, I know we're short on time, so let me say it like this. This show, it has the same symptom as Madoka Magica. And it looks cutesy enough that you're gonna disregard it as fucking moe shit. But it's not what it seems. As a matter of fact, this show is batshit insane. Like every episode, it just goes deeper and deeper regarding if if going down the rabbit hole was an anime series, this would be it. This show got me hooked for. And as a matter of fact, best effect, watch this at absolute darkness around 12 o'clock or to 2 in the morning. I was watching the movie last night, and it was, well, personally, like I said regarding Bondred, dude was a well-written band, but at the same time, god fucking damn it, did I want to strangle this dude. Anyways, the soundtrack, it's pure Kino. The story, the pacing, it does remind me a bit of Inspector in some areas. And now that Neko mentioned now and here and there, I did watch the 12 episodes of that show. Yeah, it was. I do actually agree. It was actually pretty mediocre for what it was, but it wasn't bad. But it wasn't good either. Anyways, what else did I did? I mean, this show reminded me of a lot of things from certain games. Like I mentioned, this show is a loving tribute to JRPGs. Also, RPGs from the East, not necessarily from Japan, but also Korea and China. I did mention before the chat that the Abyss, in a sense, the Tunnel of War actually reminds me of an area in Genshin Impact that's called the chasm. It's outside Liyue, and it's a huge fucking hole. It was supposed to be a mining area, but once you go down there, its ambience is a bit similar. Like I can tell the guys at MiHoYo were actually watching this series when they were coming up with these level designs. It actually sort of reminds me of the chasm in that game. Anyways, what else am I gonna say regarding the fact that this is one of the most brutal shows I've ever seen? This show, the last episode, not only is it 1 hour, it's also incredibly brutal, especially when it comes to Nanachi's friend. The whole backstory behind Nanachi and Miri carried this fucking show like crazy. It was one of the few shows that actually made me feel like straight up crying like a bitch, straight levels of feel. This is the second time in a month that I've done this. I was watching A Dog's Journey. It also gave me that same effect, and that was because I lost a dog this year. I lost my pet this year, and Yeah, but this is not the same case as Nanachi pulling the whole old yeller on Miri because she was suffering. And I'll be real with you guys. This show, I was actually originally going to score 8.5. Really, it's a 9. This show is a pure 9. I know it sounds like we're getting paid by fucking Kinema Studio, but no, it really is not legit. If you have the time, watch this fucking show because it is absolutely brutal. Especially when it comes to the monster designs, the fucking the cat. This show is basically, and quite definitely one of those shows that you just can't judge a book by its cover. Because like Madoka, it also has a very fucked up storyline. And from all the stuff I heard regarding this show being absolutely fucked up, it actually is fucked up. But fucked up in a sense that you just want to see more. It's really something. This show is a 9. It's
All right.
a 9. Legit.
Sugar.
Watch this.
Sugar.
Hey.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so I'm gonna keep this short. So yeah, it's 12 episodes long. I enjoyed the art style. Again, the sound, voice acting, music is standard. It's great, but not that great. I like the story and how it's developing. I enjoy the characters. I enjoy the mysteries of it. I can say that I believe I rated it at least close to a 9 as well. So I could definitely recommend it, even if people can look past the more messed up parts of it. It's a good series.
All right. RJ.
9 out of 10. It scratched my adventure itch. I really like stuff like Indiana Jones. I like exploration, suspense, and suspense-filled exploration, and I like adventures. I like exploring the unknown. So also why I kind of like isekais, and a lot of people, like I was mentioning some, like before, I think it was either before we started recording, I was mentioning some people that really don't like it, and I had a friend ask why I like isekais. It's like, it's like a different world to explore. It's interesting. So it satisfied that. I'm not saying this like a hipster, but I've been reading Lovecraft since before it became cool to like Lovecraft, because like multi-dimensional beings and that whole thing. But most people they like it for the body horror. They think like Lovecraft is just tentacles and goo. But to me, Lovecraft is this: the alien horror, the horror of the unknown, the like the I don't want to spoil anything. The water related deaths, like that, like something that looks like an absolutely everyday thing, is beyond insidious. It's ruthlessly insidious. Like stuff like that is just like cool. It's not like, oh hey man, we saw there's a spike trap at the door. It's like, no, you just escaped from a bunch of wild animals that were trying to kill you. You find refuge in a cave. Turns out, no, the cave is actually the bigger predator, and the other animals are just afraid of going near it. As in, you literally walk in the jaws of a predator, and you think it's just an ordinary cave. If that makes sense, like I like that. It's got a foreboding sense of like unseen danger that's like everywhere in that wilderness. But at the same time, it's still like it's fascinating, because it's like, while like Lewis mentioned, it made him emotional. While it is very depressing, and like I actually like did like, get upset from time to time, it's also very fascinating. It's why I like Bone Druid. Like, I kind of get his point. It's like, yeah, he also like has some sentiment, but he's like, keep in mind, with him, he's just gone from body to body, so he's lost his humanity. But like, I I kind of understand kind of where I definitely understand where he's coming from. But yeah, it's just that world itself is filled with surprises. So it's like I just want more of it. In fact, I found out that there's a video game coming out for it, and I was like really happy to hear that because just like I want to play that now.
It's already out.
No. I meant I forgot about. But my point is that like I was hoping like for something similar in a game. I've been really searching for an exploration game that wasn't just a look like let's do a walking simulator and push buttons. Like I can't stand those. Like there's no sense of danger. And the closest thing I guess is Chasm, because Chasm is like a Metroidvania. But yeah, having heard that, I just got like really happy because it's like, yeah, I get to actually like somewhat experience this.
Yeah, it is.
So yeah, 9 out of 10.
Yeah, it came out last month for anyone wanting to know. Yeah, Made in Abyss game came out. What platforms is this thing on? Switch, PS4.
It's on Windows. Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go.
Mm.
So I was gonna look into that as well.
All right.
But yeah, go ahead.
So when I look at this show, I see something like I see something that like I can't. It's hard to like knock points off of it. It's hard to like take away it's hard to like make a criticism without it being a nitpick. Like we talked we didn't even really talk about the animation that much. There was like some CGI that I didn't like, but other than that the animation's fantastic. The music, like it's amazing. The world building is absolutely incredible. It's like you can just tell the insane amount of effort that went into this. That whoever was the manga creator for this, I didn't look, but whoever it was, it's like really like put so much effort into this.
Akihito Tsukushi. He,
But
his name.
it's and if I can't really criticize something without nitpicking it, like I don't think I'm really criticizing it. Like it's I basically might as well not even bother and just like shower the damn thing in praise instead. So I don't know. I'll give it a 10. Fuck it.
Damn.
Wow.
All right.
So-
that gives us. I closed my calculator. Hold on.
All right.
Ooh.
All right.
Before
divided
that-
by 6. All right. That gives us an average of a 9.3 for this. The
Success.
just scrolling up because we already posted it. The mouse score was an 8.67. The IMBD was an 8.4. Yeah, no. We watched a lot of shit recently, and so this is such a refresher.
This is like everything I really want in anime.
Yeah.
Like it's very imaginative. It's very well thought out. It's got all of like the sort of quirky characters that you expect to see in an anime.
It's
Um,
very uncomfortable.
yeah, it's got the edgy stuff too. And it's got some great animation. I mean, what more can you really want?
The
It's
music is amazing too.
I mean it's like I just got like immediately sucked into this world and immediately attached to the characters, and I can't think of like any issues with the script. I can't think of like any I don't know what would I even. Yeah, it's great. Watch it.
I think on that note we can end it. Yeah, definitely like one of the best animes we've watched on this show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
Can you tell me the rating that we had versus the actual rating?
9.3 versus 9.67 and 9.4.
Ah, okay, so it's
Yeah.
close.
you mean 8.67.
Yeah, sorry, 8.67. We're point.
We're about a
6
whole
to 7
point
points
score
Yeah.
above it.
Yep.
But yeah, we're going to take a break for December, because scheduling around Christmas and the New Year's is nearly impossible. It's just too much work, and I don't want to deal with it.
And no
So
one
we'll
wants to
see
watch
you.
something mandatory during December.
Yeah, we'll see you guys at the end of January.
All right.
The end of, wait, hold up. Are we just gonna skip December? Because we could
Yeah,
do like
we
Yeah.
did
No,
we did last year as well.
Yeah, because we
we
the
deserve
years
it. We
before
deserve a
that we
break.
just had like it's like, oh, I can't do it this day. Oh, I can't do it this day. And it was just like, yeah, we just ended up doing the December one in January anyway. So
Dude, we need a break for real.
Yeah.
We've been doing this stuff for the rest of the year, and
we're all
December.
gonna end up watching the season 2 of this anyway. So anyway.
All right. I hope everyone has a good night. I hope everyone has a wonderful Christmas time. And yeah,
Happy holidays.
see you
and all that.
Merry
see you
fucking
at the end of January.
Yep.
Happy New Year, and